Welcome to the first episode of the Fort McMurray Northern Lights Out of the Park 19 custom franchise. I'm MafoTW. Thanks for joining in. This is something different from the usual content on my channel, but I hope you enjoy. Be sure to comment, subscribe, like, share. This stuff means a lot to me, keeps me going, and invigorates me. In this episode, we'll be setting up the whole franchise, doing a lot of the tweaking, configuration, and getting a look at our team. The Fort McMurray Northern Lights are basically a play at some sort of custom Canadian team up in the north that's kind of, way up there, a little bit unrealistic maybe, but they got together, they got a team together, and they deserve to play. So we're going to hopefully make it a team that people want to join. It might be a little cold up there, but the Northern Lights are quite the show, so hopefully we can draw through that. Looking at the settings here, I'm just going to quickly scan through them. There's a ton of stuff that you can configure in this game. It's all pretty overwhelming if you're trying to dig into it. I don't bother changing too much. I just made sure that my team was in there. We replaced the Miami Marlins because they had the lowest attendance average in the league last year. So based on that, they got relocated, and I can assure you we will not have the lowest attendance maybe after a couple of years. So, just looking through these rules here. If anybody has any recommendations on stuff that makes this more realistic or more interesting, feel free to add that. Hopefully, I believe you can change a lot of these settings after you've started the game, so it's not a big deal. So definitely comment below and give me some suggestions. I'll just skip through quickly, and if anybody wants to see this stuff, they can pause or slow it down themselves. And our manager's name is going to be Willie Stroker. We are going to be owning the Fort McMurray Northern Lights, and we cannot be fired. That's just because I don't want something weird to happen where we suck the first year and get fired, because this is a franchise that we're taking to glory. And what will the home stadium of the Fort McMurray Northern Lights be? Well, of course, Fort McMurray Coliseum, formerly known as Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, which hosted the Dodgers of Los Angeles from 1958 to 1961, current home of the USC Trojans of the Pac-12 Conference and the Los Angeles Rams of the NFL. Back in the day, they used it for baseball. It had some great dimensions. It was very interesting to look at in the pictures, and so that's going to be the home of the Fort McMurray Northern Lights. Hopefully some of you Los Angeles natives or fans of baseball and sports remember this one. So I'm going to force some pictures to be updated here. I want everything to be looking good. I want the content to be there. I want all you good people who are spending your time with me today to enjoy what you're seeing, because I appreciate you and I want you to know that. I hope you also noticed that while I was setting things up, the average precipitation, the average temperature, the wind, all that kind of stuff was all set up according to documentation found on the internet. Probably reliable. The Coliseum info, the dimensions, all again found on the internet, reliable, looks good. In the game, I'm excited. It's a unique stadium and it's going to be fun to play there. I got a model for it and everything. It does not get more legit than having a model and a fake team. Let's go. Without further ado, let's get into the team screen. This is exciting. First time in here. Let's hop around a few screens and see what kind of action we got going on, what kind of budgets we got, what kind of staff we got. Let's see what we're dealing with here. Looks like we're bottom of the league in payroll, so we'll have some flexibility to move some pieces and make some big waves in the MLB this year. I'm definitely open to suggestions on who we should go into the market for, who we should get rid of. I'd like to add maybe one key centerpiece for the next foreseeable future if we could in the early season, just to have someone to build the team around. So suggestions, comments below. Highest voted comment gets selected. So taking a quick look at our team, we don't really have a lot of ranked highly players in the league. Our top league rank being 13th and our average looking like it's around 25th, which is near the bottom of the league. We've also got our team owner here, Bruce Sherman, age 69. He's a demanding economizer. He likes a normal balanced gameplay. Our market size is below average, our fan loyalty is pathetic, and our fan interest is pathetic. So we're gonna have to work on improving that with some good gameplay and acquisitions. Our top players are 3 stars and lower, but at least our top prospect is 3.5 stars. We'll have to work on building that farm system up for sure. I'm gonna leave the ticket prices alone. As mentioned, we have the lowest payroll, or one of the lower payrolls, and so we got a lot of flexibility here. And we're projecting to be green in the old financials, which is nice. Taking a look at our personnel here, it looks like we've got a vacancy for the assistant GM, so let's go find one of those. I'm going to be looking for someone with some experience, cheap, probably not going to be able to get someone to this team who's, wanting to be an assistant of a good team. Let's lowball this guy and try and give him something long. See what we get. Come join us, Chain Bloom. We need some leadership, and I hope you like the cold. Looking at the rest of our staff, it looks like we aren't awesome, but we're not horrible. Minor leagues don't have anyone supporting them. We'll try and get some better people in, get a better leadership group here so that we can lead the next generation of heroes to the World Series. Taking a look at our starting pitching staff, we got Odrizamir Despaigne, Jose Urena, Dylan Peters, Adam Connolly, and finally, Chris O'Grady. I gotta say, those guys are not that strong, but what a bunch of fun guys to look at and be a part of help shaping. Let's take a look at the relief corps here. Yarlin Garcia, Nick Whitgren, Brian Ellington, Junichi Tozawa, Brad Ziegler, Kyle Barraclough, and last but not least, the guy shutting it all down, Drew Steckenrider. And looking at our starting lineup in the field, in center field batting first, Cameron Maben. Batting second at third base, Brian Anderson. Batting third, second base, Starlin Castro. Fourth in the cleanup, Justin Bauer at first. Left field, Derek Dietrich. Right field, Lewis Brinson. Shortstop, Christian Adams. And catcher, Brian Holiday. Next on to our subs, who unfortunately may be the first to go. A catcher, Thomas Tellis. First base, Garrett Cooper. Shortstop, Miguel Rojas. left field, Rafael Ortega. And last but not least, another left field, Scott Van Slyke. Next, let's roll on to strategy. We got Tim Wallich here. Let's let him pick it. Here's a sample of what he chose for us. We'll trust him. We'll see how it goes. We'll change if we need to. Heading over to the team chemistry. Let's take a look at Tim Wallich's relationships. Brad Ziegler, Brian Holiday, Miguel Rojas, Cameron Maybin, Lewis Brinson all don't seem to have good relationships with him. You know what else? Lewis Brinson, our top prospect, is apparently a prankster. Great. We may have to keep an eye on him in case things need to change. Looks like we got some interesting news already. Manager Michael Hill steps down. You've just been notified that the former GM has decided to step down because he could not see himself in an assistant role working under you. The job is now vacant. Please visit the personnel section. Yeah, well, I think I already hired someone for that. Or, I don't know. I'll figure it out. Willie Stroker's fine. He doesn't need anybody else. Looks like we got some goals here from our boss, owner. Welcome to Fort McMurray, Willie. Trust your working relationship will be a good one. I will submit new goals each year, and to start, we're doing 500 ball this season, upgraded shortstop, acquire hometown player. Not sure that'll happen. Keep building your team up in the next 5 seasons to make the playoffs. I think we got that. Those are reasonable goals. And I think that'll wrap this first episode up. It's been awesome setting this whole thing up. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really having a lot of fun getting into it and making it a good experience for everybody. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you made it this far, that's a tremendous thing for me. I appreciate that. It means a lot. It goes a long way. Everything you guys can say or do to encourage me to keep moving, I appreciate. So this is a new thing for me. I look forward to continuing it on. Watch for this episode series to drop every 3 weeks probably. Maybe it'll be even sooner if I actually get some people to watch. So thanks a lot. Have a wonderful day. Peace.